Cancer gave me depression and a failed relationship gave me anxiety. And I'm dealing with them both at the exact same time. Disgusted. Oh my gosh, I really need to work on myself. Self-care is necessary, and a failed relationship can do a number on you. And I'm Marty, and this is my party, so let's get into it. So when I was first diagnosed with cancer, right before is when I started to have like some feeling of depression. And I of course didn't know what it was at the time. And I'm not saying that depression is this new thing that in 2011 and 2012 no one knew what it was, but the demon that is depression was surrounding everything about me for a while. And I didn't quite understand it. And at first I thought it was because I was losing a close family member, and I got tasked with taking care of her towards the last parts of her life. And that is a lot for someone who's 21. And then I later found out the reason why I was so tired is because I had cancer myself. That can cause a lot. That can be a lot for somebody. And it's depressing within itself, but it also caused me to have quite a bit of depression because not only was I watching someone that I love so much die of cancer, then going to their funeral and about a month and a half later finding out that I myself had cancer. It was a doozy and it was not fun. So, this is a serious topic. Tearjerker, trigger warning in you. So, fast forward as years go on and I do lots of online dating. If you see my previous videos where I say that I use plenty of fish to date, ding dong, plenty of fish drew its weary head. And from that, I ended up in a relationship that was long term and I didn't have any anxieties. My depression was little to non-existent. I was going to therapy and I was living my best life. Like I was, living my best life. I was feeling good, feeling great. How about you? And then as the relationship progressed, it was like he told me I had anxiety. And then he started giving me reasons to have anxiety. And then I actually started to develop the anxiety. So I didn't wake up one day and all of a sudden I had a panic attack. I didn't wake up one day and all of a sudden I have anxiety. It was slow and progressive, and it all came from this failed relationship. And I know that it's not good to blame certain things about yourself and mental disorders on one particular person, one particular instance, or one particular relationship. But in this instance, it is so true. Sometimes you develop certain mental issues within yourself from moments and unfortunately from some relationships, whether they be romantic, family, friend, any type of a relationship, even a sexual relationship. We hear about it all the time. So I developed a lot of my anxiety from that, a lot of my insecurities. And now for the last 2.5 years, my anxiety has gotten to its all-time high. And then my depression has gotten to its all-time high. I have been recently diagnosed with PTSD from stuff I dealt with as a kid and a failed relationship, extreme anxiety, and severe depression. And I'm doing all of this while trying to keep my cancer at bay so that I don't have to go back on any chemotherapies, while trying to be a single mom and do everything that I can for her and for me. And I'm also doing this while just trying to progress in life. I'm trying to date at the same time. So it's not something that's easy to go through. And sometimes those things in life, you have to recognize them. You gotta take a step back and look at how did you get to this point. And for me, it took me going to a couple different different psychologists. I had a therapist pre-pandemic, and finally coming to that conclusion in the past few months that this is about where I'm at and this is where my mental health is. It's been a rough one. Right now, as far as I guess the anxiety, it's just with the anxiety, that's actually getting a lot better. I am starting to feel a little bit more like myself again. So my anxiety isn't as bad. Part of what's been helping my anxiety is also just being very vocal about my boundaries, even at home. Having boundaries at home is okay, I believe. I think it's okay to have boundaries with the people that you love, because that's the only way that you can actually get through a lot of your mental health, is to literally set boundaries. And I had to find a way to explain to my family how my anxiety affects me and how some things that they do affect my anxiety, and know that I wasn't trying to do this to change the way that they moved in their life, but letting them know this is why I feel this way, so that they don't change how they feel. You know, they could make a loud noise and it might give me a little anxiety from that moment, but they don't need to stop what they're doing, because that's me. I need to work through that. That's not for them to work through. So right now, I'm just at that point where I'm vocalizing more of how I feel. I'm also taking more time to say, I need this minute for myself. And I'm doing more for me, and I'm trying to give myself more self-care, so that I can be a better version of myself, because I can't have extreme anxiety and still try to be a mom at the same time, when I know that she is solely relying on me to really be there for her mentally and emotionally, and physically too, because, you know, moms are the best pillows. So one of the things I'm doing to help my daughter with setting boundaries. I know it's weird, like, she's 2, she shouldn't have boundaries, but she should. She should learn that when she says no, she does not want something, it's okay to say no. Now, obviously, when it's time to take a bath, you can't say no to taking a bath. There's a reason behind that. You stink, okay? You got to go to school the next day, and mommy doesn't want CPS called on her because she didn't give you a bath for a week or anything. I've never done that. Never done that. She takes a bath. She takes showers, too. A 2-year-old that takes showers. I've created a monster. I am Frankenstein. But I basically, if someone asks her for a hug and she doesn't want to give you one, I respectfully tell them she doesn't want to give you a hug. Don't try to force her. It's also letting the people around her know that I'm setting boundaries. I'm helping her to set boundaries, because she doesn't know what boundaries are yet. She doesn't know how to set boundaries. I mean, she steps on my new shoes regularly. This is why I will never get rid of baby wipes. That's how you clean shoes in the instant. Baby wipes. But I'm teaching her how to set boundaries for herself, while also telling the people who come around her what her boundaries are. She's telling you no, so respect her when she says no. She doesn't want to eat something off your plate, or she doesn't like something, don't force her to eat it. The thing is, she has a pretty wide palate. She loves all types of foods. But just because she likes hash browns today doesn't mean that she's going to want to eat them tomorrow. And you have to respect that. I mean, I think everybody deserves respect. Even when she was a few months old. If she didn't want something, I'm not going to force her. If she doesn't want something, she's telling you she doesn't want it. Listen to your kid. They're giving you cues for a reason. So I would say my advice to other mothers who are dealing with like multi-layered mental health issues right now is try to be patient with yourself, because you have to remember that the emotions that we feel, our kids can feel it. And I know that it's putting a lot of pressure on you, like, oh my gosh, if I'm feeling anxious, my kid gonna feel anxious. Don't take that as pressure. Take that as a moment to remove yourself from a situation. Sometimes you have to give in to what your kid wants so that you can give yourself a little bit of peace of mind. Your kid wants to have a lollipop. Okay, get sugar-free lollipops. Keep those in the house. At least you can give them to them a little bit guilt-free. It's a way for you to give yourself a little peace of mind while also making your kid happy. And then when you can mentally deal with the temper tantrum that they're going to bring, or deal with the emotions that they're going to have when you tell them no, then you go full force and you explain, this is why you can't have this, but this is the alternative that you can have. So I would say, understand that sometimes you're not giving in to your kid to make them happy. You're giving in to your kid to help your sanity at the end of the day. Dealing with depression is really hard when you need to get up in the morning, get your kid ready, and get yourself ready. Because it is so easy to go days without taking baths or showers. It's so easy not to wash your hair, not to brush your teeth. It's easy to binge eat and do all these things. It is really easy. It's hard to make decisions where you take a shower, get yourself dressed for the day, and you make healthy choices. I mean, yeah, I would love to go and eat a nice, delicious barbecue sandwich every day, but I might want to go ahead and take off the bread and throw that barbecue on a salad. At least give myself a little bit of a happy medium. And for me, I'm making this content for you, and I'm also making it for myself, because for almost 10, oh my gosh, for 10 years, I have been a cancer patient. And for 2.5 years, I've been a mom. And for 2.5 years, I've been a single mom. So it's a lot to take in. And I'm doing this because I know that there's somebody out there who's just like me in one of these aspects. If you're watching this, it's because you're either a Black woman, you're a single woman, you're a single mom, you have cancer, you've been through failed relationships, you're going through it mentally and emotionally, you're a little crazy, you know what I mean? Like, you eat vanilla wafers with cheese. I don't know. Like, you give your kids sugar-free lollipops at 7 o'clock in the morning because they won't stop, and all you want is for them to eat their pancakes, and that's the only way you can convince them. I mean, may or may not be true. Who knows? But this is why I'm making this content. This is why I've decided to come back and do it again. I did it years ago, and at first I was in that mindset and I was ready. But then I allowed someone who was a ball of negative energy to come into my life and take that desire to do that away from me. But I'm not doing that anymore. So if you try to get in my way, I'm going to push you out of my way. Okay? I am pushing you. What's she saying, Mean Girls? I'm a pusher, Katie. I'm a pusher. Anywho, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you continue to follow me and support. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and oh, don't forget, I have a TikTok, Insta, and a Facebook, and I might not post all the time, but I do as much as I can because sometimes depression and anxiety gets in my way. So, anywho, if you're just like me or want to be like me, I wouldn't recommend that. Come back again next time. Don't forget, you don't have to go home, but you gotta get the heck up out of here. Bye!